My channel's a geezer channel.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
You got a bunch of geezers watching me. My channel's a geezer channel.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
You got a bunch of geezers watching me.
I said, I wish I could have that job. Well, I mean, you know what that is. No. I said, I wish I could have that job. Well, I mean, you know what that is. No.
Life and Vibe, thanks so much. My queen, my Sarasota Tim expert.
That's right, guys. Happy Friday. Happy Friday the 13th of all things. My goodness. How's everybody doing this evening? How's everyone doing? Let me make sure I say hi and make sure if you are joining us this evening that you take the time to let others know that we are here tonight. And it's an easy way. All you have to do is hit those likes and subscribes. And I appreciate it. My name's Ray, otherwise known as Life and Vibe, or Life and Vibe, otherwise known as Ray. And today, I am hoping that I can remain energized. It's lovely to see you all. Yeah, you can't wait for tonight's chat. So much going on. Yeah, I don't know why everyone's looking so big tonight, but I've got everyone looking really large on the screen. You're hold on. Check my audio here. Okay. I hope everyone can hear me. I don't know what happened there. Everything looked fine. You looking forward to it? Well, I have some things to share and things I can't share. Hi. Nice to see you, Catherine. I don't know why this is so large on here on the screen. I don't know if it looks really big on the TV. Hey, hi, Anna, says Miss Vicky. And Miss Vicky's coming in. Lots of you here. Lots of you here. Well, let me just get over and catch up with everybody. Let me share an image, at least to make it interesting, I guess. Do I have an image? Let me see. Yeah, this image. That sounds like a good image. Was this it? Yeah. That's the Virginia Beach Courthouse. That is Building 10 of the General Court in Virginia Beach. Handles like traffic, and I saw some people were celebrating having been married. So there was a bride there today. They do not allow for cell phones at the Virginia Beach Courthouse. And so, yes, this is the actual real courthouse here in Virginia Beach. You like the architecture? Yeah, that's pretty nice. You like that brick architecture of Virginia? Yeah, and I think this courthouse roof is slate. We always talk about the fact that traffic court inside of there pays for very nice courthouse buildings in Virginia Beach. So yeah, that is the courthouse that we will be going to. And yeah, he'll hit 1,000 before he will hit 1,000 before he hits 100,000. Well, his numbers have been kind of going down, interestingly enough. And he hit out a classic today. Oh, my goodness. Tim is trying to cover his tracks, guys. He doesn't know what he's up to. If you've been catching up with his video, he's been calling me, of course, the demon devil lady. And then, of course, we're going to catch up with Mikey because I think he thinks I'm a hater. God, I don't need this happening. Hey, I'm surprised. English way better. Did you get your passport before you get deported? Well, actually, I have an American passport because I was born right here in the Commonwealth of Virginia. Just happened to be educated in England. So it's always good to know that people in this country are as ignorant to where people are able to live as they are to people's passports. The difference is I actually probably possess a passport in my possession, and you probably just talk about having one. But if you were actually legally required to produce the paperwork, you'd probably find it difficult. In fact, I have a feeling you couldn't afford the passport. So it's always interesting. Oh, we got Taterland. Oh, I don't sound educated. Oh, well, I think people will be finding out otherwise. So, yeah. Somebody who says Taterland, talking about somebody being educated, that sounds like something that's quite, that's an oxymoron if I ever bloody heard one. All right, that was boring. Okay, so I went to the court. I'm already bored with the trolls from there, but hey, they're giving me views and they're subscribing, and YouTube loves it. And I wanted to thank all the new subscribers before I forget. I mean, like, I guess YouTube has taken me out of like algorithmic jail finally after Sarasota Tim falsely tried to take down my channel a ton of times. People might think that they can just use copyright systems to strike creators they don't like what they're saying of, and that's not actually the case when things are done under fair use. And one of the best states to protect, I'm finding out as a YouTube creator, protecting your YouTube business is the lovely Commonwealth of Virginia. And we have very friendly pro-business laws here in the Commonwealth. And I had to go today to the courthouse and make some changes to my case. I will be not being able to tell. I think the update is really, I won't be able to say much until we kind of get through this case and I tell everybody kind of what happened. Because as this point, I am acting as my own counsel and I'm telling myself I need to be a little bit more quiet. So I will not be speaking much more about this case until we've actually gone to trial and we have actually, come to a judgment and everything has been finalized. And I mean finalized, like everything finalized. And that's what I say as myself, as my pro se counsel. But I did go to the courthouse today because I did have to make some really important changes to the channel, not to the channel, to the case. And so I did go ahead and make those changes. And so, yeah, it went ahead. I will be looking to it's with all the additional evidence and the fact that I am a business and Virginia has these very business friendly laws. The long arm statute laws allow Virginia to hold people outside of the state accountable for any tortious injuries they act upon another business here. And as much as people want to laugh about my YouTube channel, I am a monetized channel. I was a monetized channel before I started making commentary about the likes of Sarasota Tim. And he and Chris Google Maps conspired to try to take channels down and succeeded in taking some down because Chris and Tim seem to work conspiring together. They mention each other in videos and mention, Chris talked about the dirty workers striking, and Tim kind of talked about listening to Chris in the hopes that it would sound like his hands were not dirty. But he has a lot of videos where he expresses his relationship. And I have other, evidence to sort of malicious acts that they committed. And you cannot just be a grown bully on YouTube and think you can get away with it with somebody who is a resident in the Commonwealth of Virginia, because the Commonwealth takes this type of copyright and DMCA, especially with Tim never actually completing his legal obligations when he did the copyright removals. Because once I countered, he had to legally then show that he was going to be taking legal action against me in a court here in the United States to do with copyright. And as we've heard, Tim would never want to pay for an attorney. And so nothing ever happened. And he did that so many times. It's out of control. I mean, it's like unusual. It's surprising I'm even still a channel. So give me a like. And I really appreciate it if you could do so. Just because I've survived something that's almost like unimaginable when this sort of stuff starts to happen. And he and Chris just happened to be really verbal and vocal and videoed their evidence and were not very bright about it and thought that they could just do that. And you can't just do that. Maybe in other states, but the difference is in Virginia too, when it comes to business. Sorry, I'm tangled up in all my wires. When it comes to business law, and this is why I think Virginia is probably the best state if you're a content creator and you want to protect your business, because Virginia does allow for you to recover in these types of tortious injury cases your actual attorney's fees, like reasonable fees that you've had to spend in order to protect your business. The American rule, which a lot of people like to talk about, we are the only state, I understand, in the entire nation that allows businesses who've had to hire specialized attorneys, especially for like malicious stuff that was never even legally handled by somebody like Sarasota Tim. You can recuperate those damages, tortious injuries in the courts here in Virginia. And this is another way, and there's lots of case law about this. This is another way that Virginia protects businesses and say, hey, you just can't come in and say stuff and do stuff and attack people and do things of that nature and think you're going to be able to get away with it. And so obviously I did a lot of different legal procedures in order to protect myself. Today, when I went to the court, let's get to some video. We'll get to some video. Okay. So yeah, something about wanting to watch a video. Okay, we'll watch the video. But anyway, Tim's getting worried. Yeah, he is. He is getting really exposed. He really is. So it's definitely happening. So that is definitely happening. So yeah, that's happened. Yeah. So we're gonna take a look at one of these videos. So but yeah, I went to the courthouse, the affidavit of service that I had included with all the stuff. Oh no. Let me see. As we all know, there was an affidavit that I gave out. Oh Lord. I always have to make sure it's the right one. That one I think has too much information in it. Anyway. Let's take that one out. He'll be drunk again. Yes. I don't know if he's going to be drunk again, but we'll find out. All right. Let me share Tim. But yeah, that's the courthouse. I had to go there and I submitted some updates to make sure the proper sections were included in the affidavit of service in order to get a non-resident from Virginia. And the other was that their affidavit of service, the one that I had served to Tim previously with that process server, that was actually submitted today. So there were some things that I did and shared with the courts today. Okay. All right. Tim. So he's been crushing it for Christ. He has been what was it? Talking about doing some repairs on the RV. He spoke about doing some travels. If you guys could give me a like, I truly appreciate it. In the chat, that would be great. But yeah. So he's been out and about and just now he's trying to CYA himself in the back of his actual car here. So that's where he is, sitting on the back of his truck, wanting to talk to people about Social Security. And I think it's great that he should be out in a parking lot. In a random Walmart well, it's probably not random. It's probably one out in Bradenton, Florida. But he would be out in this parking lot wanting to let everyone know. What's that? Oh my God. So you could talk about Tim and sure go to court. Tim is sending you a letter soon to go to court. You are the biggest bully. Well, he can send me a court letter, but I doubt that's going to happen because Tim is somebody who has a history of running away from his problems and not running to them. And since Tim's still trying to cover himself for all of his government loans, as we'll see in this video, I think there's no issues, especially in the Commonwealth of Virginia, of exposing people, especially when they have financial fraud. So, biggest bully is Tim, who doesn't know how to actually follow legal procedure. And if he did, maybe he wouldn't be facing the issues that he's facing now. All right, Tim, tell us from the random parking lot that you chose, how you got so famous on YouTube with it's the background that I love. There's like a random shopping cart, and then there's some vehicle that pulls up to him that, you know, just looks like he's like hanging out in like some bad parts of Britain.
Hey, how's it going, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Sarasota Tim. Let me give you a little bit of a background. I'm 67. I live in Florida. I'm on Social Security, and I make money on the side with YouTube. I actually got very lucky and got monetized even before I got any money coming in. I did get monetized because people were watching me doing modifications on a Toyota 4Runner that I used to have. And so I started buying things for it and putting them on. And I started talking about cell phones.
Oh, I don't always care about some trolls. Some trolls I do, though.
And I just walk down the road and talk, and people would tune in to listen. And next thing I know, I've got, a couple thousand subscribers. And then the algorithm picked me up. A pandemic came along, and I started talking about a decision I made of collecting Social Security. as soon as I could. Not only did I want to, but I needed the money. Now people say, oh, you should only do it if you need it. Who the hell doesn't need it? Who doesn't want it? All the above, right? When you got somebody saying, look, we'll send.
I think it potentially could set a precedence and make Virginia a very interesting place for YouTube content creators to have businesses, especially in the commentary space, and they want to protect their channels from these sort of persistent use of copyright strikes and copyright takedowns in order to try to silence the voice of creators, especially creators who are pointing out somebody who's giving out bad health and wellness information and doesn't have the credentials and qualifications to do some. Sarasota Tim talking about Social Security, especially in a state like Florida, where I do believe they do have very sort of like they do have laws to protect consumers around just people giving financial information and advice, because there's been incidences of this type of, financial fraud in Florida. So Florida is very good about protecting around just financial scams. So you are supposed to make disclosures about your financial credentials and licenses and so forth. So I don't think Tim being in Florida, and YouTube and all of these things on social media are just like the wild, wild west at the moment. And so I think it's like important that people who do have licensures and credentials and do have like the ability to understand laws and stuff in order to protect their business interest in their channels, because Virginia doesn't like it either if you are showing public records, which I have shown with Tim's government loans, and then this person, Tim, tries to silence that commentary. That's definitely not something that Virginia likes to look at happily. Like, that's frowned upon. So yeah, I'm hoping this case, I can't, like I said, I have to be a little bit more quiet about all the details a little bit more now, because obviously a lot of it's the strategy going into the courtroom. But obviously all the statutes and codes of law that are applicable to this case are the ones that are being entered for it. So yeah, interesting stuff. So yeah, this car is like looking like, it's so funny that just like, did Tim even look at the background? All he cares about, he's got his Sarasota Tim YouTube back here. I mean, I can't believe he rolled around with his decals like that. That's just, I guess it's to probably, get a tax write-off on the vehicle. I promise you. It's to say it's all business, and that's, so he can not have any taxes on that. Which, you can have a certain amount written off for your YouTube Schedule C, business, but not everything. Who knows how much Tim, even if Tim files taxes, we don't know. All right, Tim, keep talking. People want to hear from you.
Send you a stimulus check. We'll send you a Social Security check. We'll send you a pension check. We'll send you a check. All right, any check for the rest of your life on a certain day of the month. Would you like it? No. You keep it. Now let me give it to somebody else, or let me wait a while. You say I can get a little bit more if I wait another half dozen years. Yeah. Let me wait.
DJ Shelly Shell, that is so kind of you to give that super chat donation. You say, here's to another minus 100 subs for Dim. They are chopping like flies. Well, I, have some theories, and thank you for that. That was so kind of you. Thank you so much. I have some theories around Tim's loss of subscribers and his kind of algorithmic chokehold for such a large channel. Some of his videos perform okay, but not comparatively to what he had been in the past. And I want to thank all my new subscribers, because I am very grateful. I know there's some people who just subscribe for the hate. Hey, I'm here for it. Some for the, what's happening with the court, or to find out more about that. I love that for everybody. Some for whatever reason, things have grown, which is great. I feel like I've come out of YouTube algorithm prison recently, especially around having had so many, strikes and copyright removals from Tim. It puts me on a list of dodgy for YouTube. But it seems like finally I'm kind of being released from all of that. So just grateful for everybody in this community who has stood by me as I have tried to navigate this with Tim. So I really appreciate it. And Tim has sort of gone up and down on his like 67.3 and 67.4 subs. But I think YouTube is starting to kind of be upset with him for the number of copyright strikes. I just was not toward myself, but also towards so many other creators here. And if he's never actually shown any legal follow-up, especially with somebody like myself who countered so many times, YouTube does have things in place, especially with the way AI and it's so much more advanced in how they can analyze the data and so forth, that Tim might be choke holding his own channel by now. And also the repetitious content, the fact that it's always, coffee and car parks and, whatever, Social Security, Tim's just kind of, and so many videos. It was just like once a day or something, or, and just stuck to one subject matter. That might be one thing. But the fact he's all over the place, I think YouTube just is going to start killing his channel views. He'll get some just because of the drama.
Wait, I'll get a little bit more later. I don't need it now. Hogwash. So I started collecting because I couldn't wait for the day to come to collect my Social Security. I was going to continue to work. I never expected to stop working. I figured, man, before I even go out and sell, I was a salesman. Before I go out and sell, the first thing, I've already got, almost a couple of grand made. Now we've got some music over here. I'm going to have to go inside my truck. All right, I'm back. What it was is there's a big gas station right in front of me here. And somebody pulled in with their speakers blaring, like, everybody wants to hear their favorite song. Now, I couldn't wait to get my Social Security. And so when I became 62, I started looking into it. And I found out that I have to apply, even 3 months ahead. I was excited about that because I was like, man, that's 3 months earlier than, then I have to wait till I'm 62. I can really, get on this thing, to get it started. And it was like a year and a half. I was working and playing golf and playing with my friends. I kept talking about it, how I couldn't wait. I'm going to get this check. They used to send us these letters in the mail, a couple times a year saying, this is how much Social Security you'll get if you were to collect today. And I saw the number and I was like, whoa, why would I wait a day later to get this? And it turned out to even be more because that was my early on numbers. So anyway, about a year and a half was before I could get it. And 3 months before my 62nd birthday, I applied for it and I got
I think it might be some sort of parking area, like for a Walmart or something. There's a trolley here from a supermarket. I can't tell what's on this handle. This, it's just he explains all of his financial stuff. I'm like, it's definitely a choice. That's all I can say. It's a choice.
Information, you're getting it. You're going to get your check on a certain Wednesday. You get them on Wednesdays these days. They don't send you a check anymore like my grandparents got. You get automatic deposit, just like you do your paycheck. But anyway, getting money was always something, I wanted to do. I've been a, ambitious person with goals and being in sales, wanting to make more than you can just make on hourly wage my entire life. Since I was 14, I had a job selling, soliciting newspapers and selling Fuller Brush, encyclopedias, pots and pans, you name it. Fire alarms. I did it all, door to door. And it was always the dream of making a lot of money. Did I make a lot of money? No. But I always dreamed about it. Did I make enough money? Yes. Could I make more money? Of course. But when I got my own business going, the main one that made me most of my money in my life, I got all tied up into being retired, semi-retired, only working enough to make the money I needed to live and a few extra bucks, a lot of extra bucks, but not about working 40 hours a week and making a lot of money. Now, in the beginning, I did. I was going to hire salespeople. I wasn't going to have to go out and sell. I was just going to be able to get people to go out and make me money. And I'm going to sit back and be fat and sassy. Well, I found out that there's no easy street. Most people are not good salespeople. It's hard to find them. They already got jobs if they are a good salesman. And so I ended up having to go out and do it myself.
I'm not sure about any of that. That could just be rumors. So unless somebody's actually stood around or mentioned a date or something, I would say it's a rumor.
You want something done? you do it yourself, right? That's what we've always heard. So I got my Social Security, and it was right about the time that I needed it and wanted it. I've been wanting it long before I could spell pandemic. And I got it coming in. And have I ever looked back? Have I ever regretted it? Have I ever reevaluated how I could get more money by not collecting $108,000 for the last 5 years or more? Hell no. I'm here to tell you folks, not only is it free money, your money, I call it free money, free check that you're getting every month, but you don't even want to think about slowing down. I mean, hold it. I redact that. I do mean slow down. Don't work 40, 50 hours a week. I mean, work like a fraction of what you're working now because you've got this free money coming in.
See, Timmy's so ambitious to get that free money Social Security check his whole life. I mean, I don't think it's that much, Tim, to be excited about. I don't think anyone's excited about their Social Security checks currently. But this video gets better because he dodges and dives everything about his EIDL. He mansplains. I guess it's the best way. Timmy splains. Timmy math-splains. Maybe that's the best way to call it. Timmy math-splains his actual like government loans, why he got the government loans, how he couldn't starve. So it's, you know, it's all justified. I don't know if this is a CYA, as we call it in nursing.
That's going to offset you not having to work 40 or 50 hours. Well, what are you going to do if you don't work 40 or 50 hours a week? I'll tell you what you can do. Anything you want to do. You decide. And let me tell you, once you get doing that, doing what you want to do and not having to go to a prison job, that's what I call them, you'll never want to go back. You'll never want to go back. It's absolutely nuts. Do you want to work today, or would you rather be paid to be off? Well, let me think about that one. Obviously. So did I stop working? Heck no. I kept on working, but I couldn't work because I started drawing about the same time as a pandemic. And, you know, unless you were what they call an essential worker, you could not work. So there was other things going on at the time where they were giving loans and unemployment and PPP and all of these things to businesses, of which I was, to keep you going. And so I'm like, well, what's that about? So I started looking on YouTube. And when I started looking on YouTube and getting all this information about ways to collect to get me over and through a period of time that was of no fault of mine, I wanted to keep doing what I was doing with my little sales gig and get my Social Security. But
why do you just work in a store? Supermarkets were desperately hiring for people, believe it or not. That's what my neighbor found out. There are lots of essential jobs that were needing people to hopefully work for. I'm sure there were some jobs out there. If you weren't able to get everything that you needed. Timmy's a little work shy, I think.
they ended that. So I moved on. And after I milked the system of what they had to offer, such as unemployment and things like that temporarily, I mean, a man had to eat, I had to pay my rent, and this was being offered. Normally, if you work for yourself, as you well know, you cannot collect unemployment. Unemployment is only for people that have prison jobs at places, W-2 people. But when you work for yourself, you pay your own Social Security tax, you pay your own unemployment, you pay for everything. But during the pandemic, because it was no fault of our own, the government said,
oh, he hates that idea. He must have paid a few things to income tax. I'm sure he did just enough so he could, file for Social Security when he aged, because he obviously wasn't putting anything away. But anytime that Timmy has to spend any money, he doesn't find it fun to spend. So he'll drop $60,000 on a truck, no problem. Obviously taxes, and none of us think taxes are fun, obviously, but it really hurts him.
Hey, all you people out there that are Uber drivers or independent contractors or gig workers or whatever you want to call us, self-employed people, we're going to get you unemployment temporarily to get you over, because we told everybody to stop. They did it. I didn't do it. I was hoping to make the good coin.
Exactly. You got to listen to this. He's explaining how he's got to eat and stuff. So this is a good one. I'm going to try to listen to Timmy so I don't miss any pearls of wisdom here.
Was already working basically part-time. I was semi-retired for years with my own business. I mean, I only worked 2 or 3 days a week, 2 or 3 hours a day.
Semi-retired for years. This is a man who just a moment ago told us he was so ambitious to make money. Well, we know how that ambition panned out, Tim. In watching YouTube videos and figure out a way to get $58,400 of EIDL loan money.
And made good. So I figured I'd just keep that going. Maybe I could cut it down to 1 to 2 hours a day, 1 to 2 days a week, because I was going to get my Social Security coming in. I was going to have it made, man. So I never got back in that business again because the pandemic changed everything about how we, intermingle with one another. Now, today, that's all behind us. You can go out and knock on doors and sell pots and pans, encyclopedias, or what I sold if you want to. It's all fine. Go ahead, because everybody's kind of forgotten the pandemic. But things have actually changed quite a bit as well. So I was able to pick up YouTube. Like I said earlier in my video, I was doing these modifications on my 4Runner, and these people were just enjoying watching. And next thing I know, I got a $50, $100, or $200 deposit from Google called AdSense, where they're like,
50? How many years ago was that? Minimum deposit for Google AdSense, Tim, is $100. That's why Tim and his math and his numbers are just whatever he pulls out his horse, literally.
hey, keep up the good work. Here's you some money. People are watching your video. People like you. I'm like, really? So I started watching YouTube, and I said, what is it I like to do? What is it I like to watch? And maybe I can copy, and make my own thing out of something similar that other people are doing to grow YouTube. And so I started watching a guy that camps out in the back of his truck. He has a camper shell, though, not a tonneau cover. And he goes somewhere. I've talked about this many times. And he's very popular. He's a super cool guy. He blew up on YouTube. I mean, absolutely blew up. People love the guy. They like to hear him talk. They like what he does. It's the most simplest form of videoing. He's just doing what he likes to doing, camping out in the back of his truck, making a little fire at a campground somewhere, cooking some mac and cheese or whatever it is. And then he would get in the back of his truck. He had it all fixed up with a little pot, some LED lighting. He'd make a cup of coffee in the morning, and he would video himself rolling away. And all right, thanks for watching. And he just did this over and over and over. And I had this Toyota 4Runner, and
my content, at least coming on as a healthcare professional, seems more original than yours, Tim. You really did. We've always said that Tim just regurgitated other people's stuff. Now he's been finally admitting to it after years of complaining that everyone's a content thief. At least I credit that I'm watching your content, Tim.
I said, I can do that. I'm going to go out to Moab, Utah, of which I did. And I made hundreds of thousands of views on traveling across the United States. And I went on this place called Hell's Revenge with my 4Runner. It's a wild video if you'd ever like to watch it. 2021 stock 4Runner conquers Hell's Revenge. Just put anything like that into YouTube and you're going to get me. And it was completely stock.
Is that the 4Runner that was paid partially with $58,400 of government EITL money? He's going to talk about his PPP and his unemployment. Never mentions that EIDL, but we know he knows about it because it was mentioned in his motion to dismiss that legal masterclass that Tim sent me.
I've never done any off-roading with it before. It was brand new. It was a $50,000 truck, and I simply crushed it, and people loved it. And I loved it too because I'm driving out there. The scenery is amazing. You get into Utah and there's nothing like it, and everything in between. New Mexico, Texas, oil wells. I was videoing everything, and people loved it. And so the subscribers grew. And then after that is when the Social Security came in, and I thought I would share my excitement about collecting Social Security and how I would recommend you should get it earlier than later because
sometimes I think I only peaked in high school too. But hoping to peak in court soon. Oh, it's going to be interesting, and it's going to be fun.
You're going to leave it works out to over $100,000 that you would not collect for 4 or 5 years if you wanted to wait to get this bigger check. And two things could happen. One, it's not that much more money, and two, you're older. You got less life left, or you could actually be dead or die shortly after. And when you do the math, you had to collect for many years to ever get back what you didn't collect from the earliest possible time. So it was like a no-brainer. It was like dumb. Who would delay? But people were brainwashed. They heard that you get penalized. You get less money. You get more if you wait. This and that. And it's all hogwash. You get more money because I've got $108,000 I've already deposited from the 5 years. I'm only 67 now. If I would have waited to just this year, I just turned 67 to get that.
See, I love the background of this. Is a great background. Stormy clouds, beat up in the sun truck, shopping trolley, random parking lot, Sarasota Tim sticker, Sarasota Tim with his glasses on. Thank for that.
Extra few $100 and left $108,000. I can tell you right now, I'm so thankful that I started collecting at 62 because already at 67, just 5 years later, I feel different. I am different. I am older. I do have less life in front of me. No matter what age I live to, I have 5 years left. So what's that worth? Is that worth 100 grand or even 200 grand? What is any amount of money worth not living? I'd rather be broke and not have anything.
Oh no, not broke. We're gonna do a quick peek into his crushing it for Christ, and then we're gonna get out of that one. Oh, the stuff about the RV. We already went over the maintenance schedule for Tim. He finally realizes he better do some maintenance on that thing. He talked about traveling in April. I wonder if it's to Virginia Beach. You'll be welcome, Tim.
And be healthy and young and live. So anyway, I'm just making this video because I wanted to tell you guys that living life half free, even if you still have to work a little bit to supplement the Social Security, because it's not really enough to live on unless you've got more money than you can spend in a savings account, or you got some kind of pension that you were able to collect early or something like that. You still need to work. But what is the job? It's not the job you got now. It's not the prison job you're doing now. It's not driving nails. It's not digging ditches. It's what you choose it to be. It could be in air conditioning. It could be on a golf course. It could be a greeter at Walmart.
I guess my prison job is trying to stop internet bullies, copyright bullies who don't like people doing commentary. I don't think I would have continued in the commentary of Sarasota Tim had he not gotten so strike happy on my channel. And copyright removal in such an egregious way to really try to shut me down. And it's not, I promise, I have plenty of haters out there. And I have plenty of people that say stuff and so forth. And that's just the way it is. You know, do I have to have it when I'm on my live stream? No, that's why I have moderators. I'm able to moderate everything that goes on the internet? Absolutely not. And that's just what it is. And that's how it goes. So, but as far as like, Tim doesn't ever show real receipts. And that's the problem. And then he tries to purport all this sort of ways that he's being able to pull off living on Social Security, having taken it early and supposedly not really had it together. But then he talks about the fact he had saved and was so debt free and this, that, and the other. And we know he wasn't, because he's talked in videos about using the government loans to pay off personal debt. So it's just, you know, and I'm allowed to talk about stuff that's public record. And Tim made it public.
It could be walking dogs. It could be cleaning houses. It could be whatever you want it to be. Work for yourself. Call your own hours. Maybe you do have a skill set that I never have possessed, and that's fixing things. RVs, cars. You know how to paint, build. You can construct a wall unit, put a wall in, or do some kind of remodel for somebody. And you decide how much you're going to charge. You decide if you want the job or not. It's all your decision. Maybe you want to plant a garden. Just read books. But when you start doing what you want to do finally in life after 62, you'll look back and you'll say, what are these people thinking that are still out there working 40 or 50 hours a week that are still not collecting their Social Security check? They're having to work that much more every month to make the money back that they could be getting in for free. So, I mean, think about that. I get almost $2,000 a month free. So how much would I have to work doing my own job, working for somebody else as a W-2 person? How many hours do I have to give of my life to, and also pay to go there, put gas in my car, maybe a certain wardrobe I got to buy to go get this $2,000 for them to give it to me? All right, how many hours of my life? How many weekends do I got to put in? How many days do I have to give up that I can't do what I want to do to just keep on doing that like I've done my whole life? I don't want to give 1 hour. I only want to do what I want to do, not what, you know, I did when I was younger. So that's basically the video. It's like, if you're anywhere close to collecting your Social Security and you've got a check entitled to you, I don't care how small it is or how big it is at 62, why not collect it? And why not still work, but change your position from, unless you just love your prison job and they'll let you work part-time, you know, and it's already in air conditioning or something, then great. You've got your housing costs down.
As long as your prison job's in air conditioning. Oh, Junebug, you okay, sweetheart? Junebug had a traumatic day at the vets yesterday. I'll talk about that at the end. At the end of the live stream, for those who are interested, remind me to talk about Junebug's traumatic vet visit and what she did to the vets. And then it cost me $38 to correct that issue. She is petrified at the vets. Let's put it this way. She was hiding under my legs and shaking. Oh my goodness. And she's got surgery coming up, of course. All right, keep going.
Either sharing with somebody as a roommate or a spouse and they get their Social Security, or you own your home, or you live in an RV like I do and it's paid for and you pay a small lot rent compared to what apartments cost and things. You figure out what the most expensive things are that cost you to live every month. And what is that? Food and housing. Give up those things. Cut those Netflix out and all those
Tim's giving out the most boomer advice ever, boomers here in Gen Xers. Just cut the Netflix out. That's all you have to do, guys. It's going to, that's where you're going wrong with your finances. You're not filming YouTube videos as a side hustle from a parking lot in Florida next to that van.
Streaming services you got. Get that car paid off. Trade that car, sell that car, and buy you a car that's reliable, like a nice Japanese car to get you from point A to point B. Start working on your tan.
Japanese car? Tim, you're driving a Ford truck now. You sold the Honda last year. And then you bought the Gold Wing, and just the money burns in your pocket.
Read a book. Start meditating.
Book? Tim, when did you ever read the books? Read the books. Read a book. I'm tired. You're running around the courthouse all day. When have you ever read a book, Tim? Don't think ever.
On the good Lord, living your life, and live the rest of your days crushing it.
Yeah, Tim's crushing it all right. So he didn't feel this crushy earlier. So we have just over 1,400 views, which is really low for a 3-hour Tim video. Usually by this hour, it's picking up. YouTube is burying his channel, guys. They don't they don't know what to do with this. Social Security, retirement, buried. 26 comments, 115 likes. I know others have the extensions that can tell you how many dislikes. Those surveys that YouTube is sending on your phones asking if you enjoy people's videos, if you found it, whether you regret or don't regret watching it. From what I understand, obviously YouTube is using that in their algorithm to decide whether or not to promote people's videos. The hype buttons, if you can hit hypes at all that stuff, appreciated. All of this stuff is, I guess, what YouTube is trying to see. I guess it's kind of adding this stuff in to kind of, YouTube is wanting people to use like AI tools, but I don't know about wanting to lose all authentic content. I don't know, because maybe the AIs, I don't know. I guess they can tell people to hype videos too. Who knows? YouTube is a very interesting landscape at the moment. I can say that much. Tim's numbers, 67.3. So he's coming down. I don't think he's going to get towards the 100K at this moment. Not with his actions on the channel against people like myself. Darling had a copyright removal and had other things happen to their channel that were pretty malicious. Olive Oil, as we know, Dino. There's been many channels, constant like harassment of creators. I know that Barum Exposure, who'd had a channel a long time ago, had been kind of had it with Chris Google Maps. I mean, just all of this stuff. I mean, I tried to, I guess, just keep my head up as they just kept striking my channel and saying very aggressive things, and Tim saying he wants to come to Virginia Beach and all this stuff. Just like call a guy out who doesn't want to admit he took $58,400 and talks openly about his PPP and his unemployment, needing to feed him during the panini time, but conveniently skips over his EIDL. Okay. Sorry. Tim, you're talking too quick. 1.5. Let's make sure it's we'll get it from the beginning, because from the end part we'll skip, because that's where Tim starts reading the actual scripture part. And it's painful to hear his Christian cosplay for me. And this part, he just wants to talk about people being evil and greedy. And I think when he's talking about evil, greedy people, I have a feeling I'm the evil, greedy person. And I'm okay with that.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Sarasota Tim. Welcome to another devotional reading this morning from Jesus Calling. And it's a good one this morning. Let me get my readers, my see rights, so I can see right. And, the reason I want to make it this morning is today is a lucky day. Yeah, Friday the 13th. It is our lucky day. And life is how you think about it. Life is what it is. Life is what you put into it. It's a sowing and reaping. And if we do the right things come by us. Even if we've been wronged or think we've been wronged, we've got a protector. I'm trying to block this light out right here. Why is it doing that? Let me go over here. Put you a little view out the door there. Anyway.
I have no idea. I know that someone who said they were Tammy left a message, a comment on Jay's videos regarding the demand letters supposedly sent. I think those demand letters were just parodies. Were not true. I don't know if it really was Tammy. I know I have the screenshots of it. If I find them, I'll bring them up. So Miss Vicky shared them with me. I don't know if Miss Vicky shared them on her channel, but we got some supposed Tammy screenshots discussing that. So we can take a peek, see if I can bring them up on the computer.
Let's read it. Today's it's very good. It's very good. If you do not have this book, you can get it on Amazon or Google it or something like that. Jesus Calling by Sarah Young. You read it over and over and over every year.
With my actual having a genuine court case with Tim coming up, pretty much actually representing my sole proprietor business with this particular case, I'm going in. But the thing with Tammy, I don't know. I don't know if that's just inspired by all of the sort of talk of court. And
it's just like today is March 13th, and you can read March 13th again next year. It never changes. And today it says, learn to live above your circumstances. Now that goes the opposite of what we hear, right? And listen to what it says.
I think
this requires focused time with me, the one who overcome the world. Trouble and distress are woven into every fabric of this perishing world. Only my life in you can empower you to face this endless flow of problems with good cheer. Only with him can you take this world. Okay, as you sit quietly in my presence, I shine peace into your troubled mind and heart. Little by little, you are freed from earthly shackles and lifted up above your circumstances. Little by little, by simply meditating on God, thinking on God, praying to God. And that's really the key. God says a lot in here and in the Bible. It's just woven throughout the whole Bible about his presence and his love and his peace that he provides. But you only get it when you invite him in, and when you think about him being like the Holy Spirit being in you. You cannot.
Tim is Christian magical thinking, as I call it, because I hope this is not your legal representation only, Tim. And I don't, and Grok. I think between the two, you may struggle in a courtroom.
Just expect him to be this guardian, of which he is, like just without you knowing. You have to ask so that when things get done, he gets the credit and the honor. I mean, he deserves that. So if you've got issues, concerns, worries, anxiousness, financial issues, health issues, you're worried about your kids, your neighbors, your job, what you're going to do with your retirement, your pension, the politics, war, whatever it is that, something you're trying to do and it's not coming together, relationships and marriages and dating and just everything. There's always something that we're thinking about. And we try to brush it under the table a lot of times by looking at these phones or looking at something on TV to distract us. But it's really good to get quiet. Go somewhere every day, throughout the day. Me, I'm solo. So I have lots of time to think. I don't have that many distractions from kids running around, a spouse, or anything else. I have a lot of time to myself. And
because you wanted to have so much fun. Tim, you have more time than anybody to ponder everything. You literally have a stream of consciousness going at all times.
Devote a lot of my time to thinking on God and asking God for guidance, direction, because, I have a lot of decisions that I want to make every day. And I know that he is always there and he always comes through, especially in an emergency. And I saw it. I saw something this morning. I won't even go into it, but I see it and it made me smile. And I said, I gotta pay it forward. I've got to encourage somebody else to know that you too can have a big smile and a sense of joy again come back in your life when you start to, give thought to things that you shouldn't think about. What's going on in the world, or the things that I just mentioned. Pick one. But anyway, let's continue reading. And I'll reread that last sentence. As you sit quietly in my presence, I shine peace into your troubled mind and heart. Little by little, you are freed from earthly shackles and lifted up above your circumstances. You gain my perspective on your life, enabling you to distinguish between what is important and what is not. Rest in my presence, receive joy that no one can take away from you. Now that's cool. You gain my presence, my perspective, he says, on your life, enabling you to distinguish between what is important and what is not. So when you
Tim has figured out how to be a narcissist and a Christian all at the same time. Oh my goodness. I think you're exhausting God, Tim, with all of your requests.
You don't meditate on God and you give all your attention, you focus on something. It's like looking at a camera. Whatever you're focusing on is what you give strength to. That's what you see clearly. When you take your focus off of negativity and thoughts that are distracting, that believe me, there's evil in this world, folks. There's total truth to that. There is evil roaming around looking to devour people that are, easy, and they're not, they want to take you down. Evil is real. And so you have to combat it all the time. And
I'm the real evil. Hello, it's me, evil sitting here. Give me a thumbs up if you like evil. I'm the evil taking Tim to court for him having been a bully. That's the thing. There's going to be people making commentary about you and you're not going to like it. But using YouTube's copyright system and not using, and knowing that it holds other creators over a barrel, because it does require that if you are going to do a counter notification, you are going to have to give your legal name and address and all of these details, because it is a legal process. And YouTube washes its hands once that process starts. And they know that for a lot of people, they don't want to go ahead and do that. They don't want to give those details. And I don't blame people, because you get doxxed, you get found out, your life is going to come out. Tim just gave out his life just because he wanted to share everything. And then he decided he didn't want to share that anymore. He tried to hide it. And now it's being shared. But it is an interesting thing, because I haven't really tried per se to, I don't know. Obviously, I call into question Tim's business ethics as a content creator, but I'm not trying to falsely use a copyright system to take his channel away from him. And I certainly would never want to try. That's why I say at the beginning, I don't try to encourage any bullying or anything to anybody, because it is like that fine line you have to think about crossing, making commentary and things and saying things about somebody who's on the platform. And then, me sort of thinking, well, the way he and Chris kind of used the copyright system to try to shut my business down and just completely silence me. That's, different from just them making commentary about me. So I don't know. It's an interesting thing, but whatever it is, he's finding himself in court now because of it. And because Virginia law protects me more than any other state in this country. So that's, just a misfortunate thing for Tim, and allows me to use long arm statutes in order to bring him from Florida actually to court here in Virginia, because Virginia doesn't think that I should have to go elsewhere. If it's my business here, they're like, no, you need to come here and face this. So that's what I mean in the respect that Virginia is very business friendly, as long as it's obviously not a hobbyist channel. And obviously that's where you've got to make sure that you come in and show your, 1099s and how you filed on your W-2s and everything else. And Virginia likes that because they like you paying taxes.
Because of the reason it's really more real today than it ever was, but when we grew up, we didn't have all of the types of things that we could see on our computer. We didn't have computers, TVs, and all this different information. And then people contacting you and texting you and telling you, oh, did you hear this and that? And, just being bombarded with negativity, because what do people like? They like drama. They like negativity. They like gossip. It's the human nature, the sinful nature that we're born into. So to change that, you start to eschew that. You eschew these people, these places that you hang out, these drugs and alcohol. You eschew listening to certain things and people. You put yourself where it's just you and your spouse, and your children, your immediate family, your close friends that you love and can trust, and God, and mostly just God. And all that noise gets silenced because it can be silenced. And that's what evil hates. That's
evil. I'm evil. That's okay. I know it. I know I'm evil. I know I'm evil. Been told my whole life.
what evil dislikes the most, is knowing that you absolutely have the power to silence it. You absolutely have the power to ignore it and not let it affect you. But people are vulnerable. People are weak. People give into it. They're thinking, oh, this is more powerful than God. Oh, this is really bad and this and that. And, you know, you go through, why should you go through even 5 minutes of a day, you know, with concern of something that's distracting you from joy? Wouldn't it be nice to be 24 hours a day smiling and happy, and your mind is only thinking on things above, as the Bible teaches, and on God and those that we love? And, you know, you never give a second thought to things that people seem to dwell on from the moment they wake up till they lay down. I think they even dream about it. They're just consumed with negativity and mayhem. I mean, what an awful, awful life. I mean, no wonder suicide is so high. So anyway, the scriptures are, these things I've spoken to.
The Tim Reaper is out here again talking about people unaliving themselves. No, Tim, I promise you, if it's because I'm so evil because I can use codes of law in order to stop people like you from being just a worthless bully on the internet, then there we go.
You that in me you may have peace. In the world you will have tribulation, but be of good cheer. I have overcome the world. That's what God tells us in John 16:33 in the New King James Version.
Exactly.
I'll have to read that one again.
There's exactly. Timmy talking about, this is from Danielle. Timmy talking about drama when he starts drama by striking other channels while he's rejecting their. Well, and that's kind of it. Yeah. Do commentary channels irritate other a creator? Absolutely. Of course, nobody likes to hear negative things about themselves. It's human nature. You know, nobody's like asking to be, you know, have the worst parts of themselves revealed by everybody. Tim, though, has kind of dirty deleted his content in order to kind of change his narrative throughout his time on YouTube and to try to sell a false image of a Social Security retirement lifestyle and the simplicity of a YouTube side hustle. And none of this is true. We have seen recently a number of channels that have found it difficult to get through the algorithm or have had their monetization lost because content that they have is not appropriate to YouTube's terms of service. I mean, there's all sorts of stuff. Certainly would never recommend it. But yeah. Oh, there's also so the channel is being released, guys, from YouTube's algorithmic jail. We're gonna get a lot more people in, and probably more trolls. Hey, it's a sign of success. See, that's what Tim doesn't understand. See, I know, yeah, the trolls don't make my chat fun, and neither for the moderators. So yeah, that always should be, you know, that's why we have moderators in the chat. And obviously it's just gonna happen. It's gonna happen, Tim. It happens to me, it happens to you. It's just one of those things. It's, you know, how do you deal with it? You know, it's gonna happen. Not everyone's gonna like you either. It's gonna happen. You should know by now. You're an adult.
Things I have spoken to you, that in me you may have peace. In him only. Because in the world you will have tribulation. But be of good cheer. I have overcome the world. And you know that's true. A person that created the universe and the world that says he's overcome it, why would you doubt it? So why would you have to give a second thought to anything negative? It's just such a waste of time and so unnecessary.
Yes.
You know, it's just like, again, I use the magic trick thing. Someone tries to show you a card trick or how they pull a rabbit out of that. You're like, I already know what you're trying to do. I already know the gimmick. I already know what, you know, your motive is, you know, or what the trick is. I see it. So you can't fool me. I'm not amazed. I'm not amused. All right. The next one. Why are you in despair, O my soul? And why have you become disturbed within me? Hope in God, for I shall again praise him for the help of his presence. That's a Psalm 42:5 in the New.
Tim is just, he's like, he He's praying hard. We're ticking down to days in court.
American Standard Bible, the NASB. I'll read it again. Why are you in despair, O my soul? And why have you become disturbed within me? Hope in God, for I shall again praise him for the help of his presence. And finally, we read one more. So with you, now is your time of grief, but I will see you again, and you will rejoice.
I don't think Tim knows how to get a case together for that. I think that was just some parody letters.
And no one will take away your joy. That's John 16:22. So I hope that helped everybody today, folks. It's a lucky day today. You know why you're lucky today? Because you know God. You have God in your life. You can call upon him at any moment. There's no toll. You don't have to put any.
We don't think Tim got it from any of his ex-wives, that his ex-wives did not have that type of income, and he certainly wasn't with them long enough. That's the consensus. So we don't know how much he has through his Social Security. Be difficult to subpoena.
Coins in the thing. You don't have to wait. You know, when you speak, he hears. He is right there, right inside of you right now. And, you know, depending on what it is you're asking him, he may answer immediately, later that day, or the next morning. But you got.
I don't know if he'd be on disability, hiking those mountain bikes and stuff around. We just don't know whether or not he's fully honest about how much he's receiving in Social Security. Might be an inflated number.
I do this. This is what I've learned. I continue to learn. I forget sometimes. That's why I want to share it with you. You know, we ask God to help us with whatever. Okay, you pick it, whatever. And then you turn right around and give concern to what you're asking God to help you with. And it's like when your child asks you for something, if he can do this or if it's safe to do that, and you tell him yes, and he still doubts you. And God is like, come on.
I did not even mention to the court about the motion to dismiss that he sent to me because it didn't follow any procedural protocol. It's not on my bearing to present that to the court. So the one thing that did not get shown to the court today was his motion to dismiss. What was shown to the court today was the affidavit showing that he has been process served in Florida and that he has never served in the military, or he's not currently serving in the military. Very important.
You just asked me, trust in me that I heard you, and trust in me that if it's for your goodwill, I will make it happen. If it's not for your goodwill, I will change your heart about that situation and replace it with something else. But
see, Tim just thinks that, you know, this is where I don't think that, you know, Tim, I don't think God's responsible for all this.
Have your back. I have your best interest. Believe me. And that's what you have to keep reminding yourself is, I don't understand this.
How could you like rip off Johnny Vegas's golf clubs or, you know, try to bully people on this platform because you didn't like the criticism that you were receiving? You're going to have criticism, Tim. You all. Just like I have probably just as many channels criticizing me now. And that's fine. It doesn't matter. They're going to say all sorts of things and try to dig around and do all sorts of stuff. It's just what happens. That's what happens when you get known on the internet, Tim. So it's kind of like if you're going to put yourself out there or do anything or be known for anything, people are going to sneak around. That's why people like to not put their, you know, have more private avatars and handles. I decided I was going to come out and have a face to my channel. It's always risky. It's risky you have to decide to take. God's not going to save you from this, Tim.
I know that there's a bigger plan, and it's not for me to understand, and it usually comes out to something way better than I'm even thinking about. So I just trust in you, God. So trust. That's what you got to do. Just like when you get in your car, you trust the battery's going to start the car. You hope it does, but you trust it because you pretty much know it will. And you sit in a chair, you pretty much feel faithful that the four legs are going to hold you up. That's the kind of faith that you've got to have when you talk to Almighty God. Just because you can't see him, just because he's just not standing right here in front of you, just because he doesn't come on TV every Sunday and prove that he is.
So this so far is the content I think that Tim has given us today. Did he do one other thing? I can't remember if he did a car wash maybe. But it's been talking about basically evil people, i.e. me. Because I think maybe JJ throwing in there, anybody who's a turncoat, is thrown into the evil people category. We have the Social Security trying to CYA his, you know, unemployment and PPP because maybe he's getting nervous that the EIDL is getting mentioned in court potentially.
That's what faith's about. Faith is something that you can't see, but believe it. All right, folks. So that's it. Otherwise, you just keep on going. Crush it.
Yeah, Tim's keeping on going. Oh my goodness, it's a beautiful smile, Tim. All right, let me see if I can share these Tammy emails real quick. Let me see. I did download them on my page. Let me see. Did I get them? I thought I got these. Hold on. Let me see, because I got them here. All right, let me see. I thought I was going to do this. Here we go. Image, airdrop. Let me see. Let me open it here. Here we go. Thought I would save this. Hold on. Let me save these real fast. Let me not put it as a PDF. Hold on, guys. All right. I have some screenshots from this Tammy here. Let me put Tammy one. Save this one. And then, that was actually should have been Tammy. And then let me do, let's see if I can open it. I got this sorted out. Look at me go. Okay. All right. Sorry about this. I should have put the other one up so you guys can be reading this. So sorry about the technical errors here, but I wanted to share. I'll save these. I'm sorry about that. Of course, I picked one first. I'm not the one I wanted to look at. Hold on. Let me see. I have to reopen this one. Oh, there we go. All right. Got it. Look at that. You guys see it? Did I get this on here? I did. Whoa. Okay. So let me make sure I get over here to read it. This supposedly came in. I don't know if Miss Vicky's still here to point out a little bit about this. So this was captured on these were some comments supposedly from Tammy. I've got two here. Let me see if I can read this one up close. So read it out loud because of it. Obviously, it says Tim Tam 40, which I guess is a known Tammy account. This is just something that we saw. This was, I guess, on these videos recently about the cease and desist. I don't know. Miss Vicky can clarify maybe. I did not capture the screenshots. Obviously, I'm not techie. I made a post and don't know where it went. I do not have a computer. Okay, so this is what she says. Why make up fake documents with my name on them? I have not made any legal document. I do not know why you make up videos and awful comments about me. I was always very nice to you and considered you a friend. I was friends with everyone. You, Johnny. I called Johnny on the day of his operation. Z-Car, I talked to on the phone before. I thought he was a nice man. I do not understand grown men and women making up stuff and saying nasty comments about me. Well, I've never made up anything about Tammy. Everything I've shown with Tammy is receipts when she showed up on Tim's video. Tried to be fair on the receipts. I don't want to make up stories that I don't know because it's not fair. I tried to stick to the facts. People can criticize me, but at least criticize me on the facts. That's fine by me. All right. I am not involved with Tim. I have not spoken with him since December the 3rd. I'm guessing that's about the time we saw him with the gazebo, was about that time. I have no idea what crazy things that man does. People print statements like they are facts. They are not. I have, in fact, been blocked from commenting on Tim's channel years ago. Jay and Johnny were made fun of and talked about and lied about on here. I never knew anything about them. I stuck to the making my commentary and saying that Tim didn't treat people well. That's what I always said. I just stick to the commentary on the videos unless it's receipts on his government loans. And then the fact that he and Tammy did live together at a certain time. And trying to, put times and dates to the EIDL loans and stuff and where he was and the fact that he and Tammy were over that Manor-Loop apartment and so forth. So certain things, but they're all public records, which is fine. So it's, interesting. So keep reading, Ray. You went off. Okay. People, all right. I happen, okay. And they don't like it one bit. Well, no. I don't have Jay's number, but I have Johnny's and other people's numbers. I picked up my phone in December and saw red. Okay, I'm going to go to the next part. Next large report here. Oh, I got another screen. Add to this. Oh, not that one. Let me add the next one. All right, I'll add that one. Well, unless in case other people are still reading. All right, Tammy one. This is the next part. All right. Okay. Picked up my phone in December and saw red dots by their names. That was in December. I asked him, and he said he blocked their numbers. I told him he had no right to go on my phone and do that. He also deleted videos that I had made with him screaming at me. So it's not the first time we've heard Tim supposedly being aggressive towards somebody. Just sort of clocks in with his having been somewhat aggressive towards me and my channel, and other people have said he's got something of a temper. Tim and Tammy had to go to the lawyer's office in order for him to cease leathers for both of them. Well, I don't think anyone's been sending any. The only one sending cease and desist to me through my attorneys. That's it. Telling you, it's becoming an obsession now. It was not nice. Okay, sorry, making up stuff about Tom. If you're thinking about when you and Tim and I had lunch, Tim said someone called me. It was not Tom, someone else. You should not have slandered Tom's name like that either. Well, Tom has left some pretty nasty messages, but yes, you can't. That's why you have to be very clear if you're making up a parody or a story or something. It's going to happen. You have to be very clear it's a parody or a story, and make sure you put it in your description box or stuff, because you can get into some legal stuff. And I know that Jay makes sure he puts some fair use out there. And, stuff's going to get made. Yeah, unfortunately, I know. Internet's not a great place. That's why, as I said, when you put yourself out here, none of us are squeaky clean, and all of us are going to have a past, and all of us are, none of us are perfect, as Tim knows. And so, yeah, it's always interesting, but you have to have thick skin. I think that's part of it. It's why, I get trolls. My moderators are more likely to take the trolls out. I sometimes try to engage with the trolls, but I get exhausted because it's like, it's just trolls. Why am I arguing with someone who's telling me they don't like my accent again, or I should go back to England when I haven't, I was born here and stuff. It's exhausting trying to explain stuff. Okay. Anyway, it was okay. So if you're thinking about when you and Tim and I had lunch, Tim said someone called me. It was not Tom, someone else. You should have not slandered Tom's name like that either. Totally wrong. I am in North Carolina taking care of my grandchildren and saw my name on this paper. Fake, made up, false. Leave me out of your vendetta against Tim. I am a nice person and don't deserve this. Just as you and Johnny and the others didn't. I only have this channel. Hold on, I'm going to have to hide the comments for a second, guys. I only have this channel still because I don't know how to delete it. I tried, but it didn't work. Maybe only on computer. I don't have a computer. So try to be nice and tell the truth. Nothing to do with me. So that supposedly is a message from Tammy. I don't know if it's still... we never know, do we, Ann? I believe the Tim Tam account has been around for a while. Like I said, I don't know. if this was here, it was under the letter thing, letter 2. So Miss Vicky did clarify that where it was from. But yeah, obviously, if it's a parody, she may not have really much legal ground to stand on. For some other food, you have Pillsbury biscuits in the can. Huh? I just wonder if you have a different name for them. What's that? Oh, Catherine. Oh, I'm like in a conversation about biscuits. So anyway, yeah, that's was left supposedly by Tammy, saying that the documents aren't real, they're made up. Why slander me like this? So yeah, I know. Here was a difference though. That account commented on Darling's channel once, another time when she was forever done with Tim. Yeah, we don't know. We don't know if this is true. I mean, you get so many strange things in the world of YouTube and the internet. Things that you never expect, I promise you. So yeah, you just never know. All right, let's get over. That was Tim's Friday the 13th so far. We're all having a very interesting Friday the 13th, I think. But yeah, he just had the 2 videos out. I'm not traveling anywhere until these things are done. He actually got over 4,000 views for that one. So that was good for Tim. All right, we're gonna get over to Mikey getting upset, I think, about everybody talking about his video where he spoke about his let's see if he still has his video up. Maybe he took it down. He could have taken it down already. No, he hasn't. Where he's complained about people not misunderstanding his video that he had about women and trying to find a date. The video we went over. And I guess I don't know if he got some comments, whether he got some other is it just my having made commentary, other people having made commentary? We're just not sure. But he came out with a new look. Looking like a rock star from Mad Max. And I think I've got him at 1.5. No, we're going to speed him up because Mikey is a slow chatter just like Tim. I think I could go to 1.5 with Mikey and still understand him. Just so we can go quick. This is going to be a short react, guys, and then we'll be done. Happy Friday. Make sure to hit the likes.
Ooh, looking good. You guys like the hair? Didn't want to wear my hat today. Today's going to be a difficult time to make this video. Been having some sleeping issues, mind racing, stuff like that. There's something I should probably talk about. I think that this may help a lot of folks out there. A lot of, people out in society can convince themselves of a lot of ridiculous things about you. Depends on their frame of mind when they see you doing something. All manner of insane thoughts can run through people's mind. In fact, you could talk about things and they will understand the complete opposite of what you said. It's really mind-bending to deal with haters. And I've found that most haters are super fans, or they just haven't figured out how to cheer yet,
That's right.
And I've noticed since I've been doing this.
Yes, that's right. See, my haters are also my super fans. That's good advice, Mikey. He's very, I've heard that he deletes live streams, especially if he hasn't had any donations through. It's like, why delete your streams? You'll still make money if they're monetized. Why are you deleting? He's deleted a lot of videos, millions of channel views. So we're trying to figure out if he privated them because maybe YouTube is looking closely because maybe he's had some tippling in his videos that YouTube doesn't want to see. But just carry on listening to Mikey telling us about the haters. It's just I couldn't believe it. I put out one reaction, and like a day or so later, there's already a hater video about this particular video we made a reaction to the other night, guys. That was a quick turnaround. And I was just interested. And I thought I had a pretty good poll asking about whether people in RVs deserve love. I mean, we're just talking about stuff. These people get very sensitive.
For so long, I've noticed how haters are created. I've been in this situation many times where somebody will type out a whole paragraph or several paragraphs full of assumptions about me, all of them untrue, and I will try to set them straight.
Well, we're adding Mikey in just because, we don't want Tim just to think it's all about him. But you don't have to follow Mike, too. He's just somebody else who talks about the haters. Just it's as if Tim were to go fully off grid. Some people like the Mikey stuff, so there might be other people who come here just for the mic. It's a way to expand the community. My poor moderators, you don't have to always stay for this one. But luckily, his videos are very quick compared to Tim's. So his reacts are like 30 minutes usually, compared to Tim's hour and a half.
Right? I will have long conversations with some of them. And then I'll eventually go back, and after they feel stupid, then they delete the whole conversation, the whole comment. And then the next day you'll see them on a tirade, all over the place, trying to spread lies about you, all because they couldn't keep their stupid mouth shut, or their finger from moving.
Mikey's going to be a very interesting off-grid character for our folk in New Zealand. It's very interesting for me too, I promise you. Here in the very urban city of Virginia Beach, in the district, especially in the oceanfront snobby district that I live in, with the I get to go to the lovely bakery that I love so much, Prosperity, that has for breakfast tomorrow I've already got this beautiful caramelized onion brioche with with an egg in it and stuff. It's less expensive to get this handcrafted, hand-baked from a small local bakery brioche with the egg and everything, and like absolutely huge and delicious, than getting like a breakfast sandwich at McDonald's. So this place rocks, man. Like you get the best like homemade like stone hearth like little margarita pizzas frozen, like all ham. It's the best place, man. You got to be careful. Sourdough, everything's like sourdough bread for the pizzas and stuff, and oh my god, it's so good, so good.
For the keyboard. I didn't start it, but that's how you create haters. Is you have a disagreement and then they never let it go. They'll go for years. And the way,
if you didn't catch Blind Views, supposedly Mikey had somebody. I saw one video that he did. I didn't know if it was recent or a while back ago, maybe a month ago, where Mikey had gotten some donations for tires, and then he turned around and thanked his audience for the tire donations, and then went out and ate a really lovely like meal, and like treated himself to steaks. And so usually I don't know, he's gonna be fun.
Human psychology works is when you repeat a lie long enough, you end up believing it. I don't know why that is a factor, but it obviously is how people work. I've had several lies about me over the years. I've had that I wrote a book and the whole thing was found to be plagiarized. I don't know how that's even possible to plagiarize 85,000 words or however many words that was. I can't remember, but I've written 2 novels and 1 book, and I don't sell any of them, but I never plagiarized anything. Scammer. I've heard lots of things, about me. And recently this
scammer. He said, and recently he's going to have some new one. He's going to talk about this dating thing, guys. One video. That's all I did.
Dating video that I posted got quite a bit of attention, especially a lot of hate, right? Things were said or things were assumed that I made a video complaining about not being able to get women. I've never had that issue in my entire life. Not even close. In fact, just the opposite. But they assume things about you. But the whole point of that video was complaining about the division between men and women.
I think he talks about his book in another video somewhere. Supposedly he plagiarized the entire book. So it wasn't like he was having like a full Stephen King moment. And now he's talking about the haters on this video. And it's like, that's why I slap a big old fair use, Mikey. It's commentary. People snipe my videos. I'm sure I have shit said about me all the time. I look like my mother. Every time I look in the mirror now, I'm like, fuck, I look like my mother.
Women. Some people even, I don't know how they hear these things. You know, like I said, you can say certain things and then they hear something completely different. Like if I complain about the division between men and women, and both men and women have their issues these days, somehow that equates to I hate women. So that person will go off on a tirade and start talking about how I hate women. And I never said that. In fact, I said the exact opposite.
I don't think we said you hated women. I said you didn't have a lot to offer women. And offering women to come around for an ass slap and a home DIY project didn't sound like a fun.
Videos that I love women and that we complete each other, men and women, you know? So that seems like the way that things work. And I will say this. Hate never comes from above you. Hate always comes from below you. There's many different ways.
Why is it always called hate? We were having an interesting conversation thanks to your video about the difficulties of dating if you were living in an RV off grid. And what could that be offering to people? We left it as a very open poll. Most people felt you deserve love. So I don't see how that's hate.
It gets seated, maybe through jealousy or feeling like they were treated badly by you. Even if you had no intentions of treating a person badly, people can pick up on things and interpret them differently. And, you know, we don't know what's going on in people's minds, right? And maybe if you did treat somebody bad, you can say, you know, please forgive me and I'm sorry.
Hey, I take money too through Buy Me a Coffees. Thank you guys so much for the pup treats. Dogs are getting moved to a new food at the moment. At the end, we'll talk a little bit more about Junebug's harrowing vet visit yesterday. And what she did to the vet. The outrageous bills in this country. So I appreciate you hitting the likes, guys, because it helps me pay for all this crud. I know that my haters and critics love me talking about my dog's vet bills. Well, one of the reasons why I started a YouTube channel that was monetized was to help with the cost of taking care of my dogs, which I love to have. For people who, you know, and I treat my YouTube as a business with the community that I love. So, and I have no shame in that. But I'm very honest, I guess. I don't know. People don't have to give. But Mikey, like he said, he wanted just tires and then he turns around and eats a nice meal. It's like Chantel, she begs for money. I don't beg for anything specifically unless it's like attorney's fees. And as everybody knows, I obviously go to court.
I had no intentions to treat you bad, just like a lot of times I didn't have any bad intentions when I was setting somebody straight in the comment section, but they took it as bad. Maybe because I forgot to put a ha-ha after
it's worse.
After it, or completely type out that, by the way, this is in a nice tone. You know, I don't always remember to do that. And a lot of the times, you know, text doesn't have any tone. So whatever frame of mind they're in when they're reading it, they can read between the lines and process it completely different. So I just want you guys to know out there that if you guys have people that dislike you, and you can't figure out why, and of course it's, you know, it's hard.
I don't understand why talking about somebody's video and making commentary about it and having fun with it is disliking somebody. I don't think there's anything I've said that Mikey has done nothing that I've seen so far that makes me think that Mikey is a dislikable person that I've seen so far. But I understand there's some dodgy stuff in the past, and you've recently, you know, hard deleted a lot of videos. That's never a good sign on YouTube. So we just don't know. But without full receipts, Mikey, we're keeping an open mind at this moment. Don't taint it yet. We just started doing the reacts to you.
It's hard to interpret your own actions sometimes. Sometimes you're not self-aware, you know. And if people hate you, it's coming from below, not from above. You can't hate somebody that you don't care about whatsoever. So they're coming from a place below you, and they're lashing out upwards. That's just the way that hate works, you know. So, and I try to forgive everybody. It's tough, real tough sometimes. I have built a few haters in simple ways, like they will comment something, right, on a video, and YouTube holds back a lot of comments that it may think is a bad comment, or, you know, swear.
That's only if you put the filters in there, Mike. You know that. You can have like basic moderation, no moderating. You know, most creators, when they start out, they don't understand how to use all the moderation tools, or they don't think their channel. Promise you, you learn to put at least basic moderation in after very shortly if your channel starts to have any type of growth, because you'll get some wild comments. I was suffering with obviously you know, an infection that affected my nose when I first started really getting traction on my channel, and I would be on an avatar most of the time, and I guess it affected my speech horrifically in ways. People kept asking me if I was drunk all the time, thinking I'm on antibiotics constantly. I can't even be on alcohol. I just kept being asked if I was drunk, you know, and I already know I have a lisp. And I just finally got exhausted trying to explain to people I have a lisp, and that might make me sound like I have intoxicated. I have no idea. You'll have so much weird stuff.
Or something like that, or a link in the comment. But this has happened to me several times where somebody comments something, they go back and they can't find their comment,
right.
And then they comment again. They'll say, "Wow, Mike, I see that you deleted my comment. Looks like you couldn't handle the truth," you know. So they get all mad at.
Oh gosh. Well, you know, obviously I have trolls too, you know, and I have all sorts of comments too. Some are nicer than others. Some are, you know, constructive. I don't mind constructive comments. Somebody told me tonight they don't always agree with me, but they appreciate my court case. A lot of people don't agree with me, don't agree with my politics, don't agree with a lot of ways that stuff. But that's okay. Adults know that you're not going to agree with everybody. You're just not.
Me out of nowhere, nothing that I created or did whatsoever, and there you go, boom, you've got another hater for life. It's all these misunderstandings and insanity. Sometimes you don't know what to do.
Thank you, Catherine. There's the video of me doing my weigh-in, and I was literally fading away. Like the weight was coming off of me. It was bad. It was really bad. It was bad. Like I disappeared for, oh my gosh. I mean, time when I was off working, you think I could just be making a ton of content. When you're sick, you really can't do stuff. That's why I was surprised that Chantel can stream for 6 hours a day.
Do with it.
So he's laughing.
I've gotten to the point now where I can let a lot of hate just roll off my back.
Have a great
people are going to lie about you. And then other people that are already in a bad frame of mind and already want to dislike you are going to believe whatever those lies are. And then before you know.
No, I heard that's what you and Tim do in the bathrooms by Nathan Benderson Park.
Know it, those lies are spread around so much that they become fact in those people's heads. And it's really sick. People should find something better to do, you know? So if people try to put you down, it means that you're already above them. Because hate comes from both.
Yeah, I'm curious to know how he got his account hacked. There's been, like I said, I was talking about this the other day. This is why these folks are fascinating, because a lot of them have had their channels hacked into. And it could be distressing. And especially when he had a really large channel. And a lot of these people had big platforms. He probably made very good money. I mean, he's bought land somewhere, didn't he? Out in Arizona somewhere. I'm sure there's a land deed somewhere, Mikey.
Well, if they doubt you, that means they're coming from a place where you're doing things that seem impossible to them. Your haters are really your biggest fans. And what is the phrase?
No, I just, said that's what you and he could enjoy. Oh, Tiffany's, her struggle's real. But she participates, she engages, and she helps me in the YouTube algorithm.
Haters are your biggest fans. They just haven't learned how to clap yet, I think is the phrase. So if you're feeling attacked, folks, a lot of the times it's people either just looking for attention, you know.
Yeah, because Tim hasn't accused everybody of being an alcoholic drug addict who criticizes him. So I'm just assuming it takes one to know one.
Or there's some sort of dysfunction inside of them. That's where it comes from, because a healthy person is not going to devote any time to being hateful. So I think that's going to be it for this video.
It's like nobody hated on you, Mikey. Everyone just had fun with your video. You were complaining that women have very high expectations of what they want in a partner. That's what you complained about. And then you complained about dating sites and how difficult it was to date and how women's expectations seem unrealistic and so forth. At least that was my takeaway.
Folks, I appreciate each and every one of you watching. I hope you got something valuable out of this little conversation. So maybe some reassurance, you know, and give this video a thumbs up. That's really important. Please do so.
I wonder what this girl's Tiffany's connection is to Tim. Just to be somebody who wants to glaze a con artist like Tim so hard. Wants to be offended because I made a joke about her huffing the pipe with Timmy over there. Because she's obviously just as delusional as he is. Get over yourself.
I need to try to get some sleep tonight. My goodness. But in the interest of keeping these videos coming, I don't post videos on Monday or Tuesday. It's just not worth the effort. I make that my weekend because those days have the lowest views.
That's what I wanted too. Mikey got an offer and an email and clicked a link in an email. It was a scammer who stole his channel somehow. Yeah, that's one thing you should never do. If you have any of these types of businesses come by, the first thing you do is you look at their email at the top and you see if it like matches to the name of the business or it makes sense. And then you go completely separately into a new thing and check to see if there is a legitimate business associated to it. Then you poke around and find out some reviews and do some research before you would even decide to start a conversation with that person. You think it's Bubba or TRD? I have no idea because they actually have a full last name on there. And I just don't think the Tim's subscriber base is always that, you know, bright. Sleep with one eye open. I don't know who's sleeping with one eye open, but it's not going to be me.
I don't know why. They just have for a long time. And, you know, it is what it is. So that becomes my weekend. If I was going to take a day off, it would have been today. But I want to stay consistent. This month, I want to just roll out a whole bunch of videos. And I hope you enjoy them.
Well, it's difficult because probably a lot of those, you know, and the thing with YouTube with the subscribers, if his views are, you know, sitting, you know, this was a hater rant, had 2,000 views, which could be not different from a video I could put out about hater rants potentially. I might get 1,500 and I'm a tiny little channel that's been kicked down the YouTube algorithm all the time. And so, yeah, it's interesting because he lost his channel clicking a link. I would never click on a link from a strange email at all. So, yeah, I guess, Carl, what are you trying to say about sleeping with one eye open? I don't know what that's about. Oh, that's it. He's exhausting too. She never comments on his channel, so fake Tiffany. I have no idea. There's just all sorts of weirdos out there. I don't care. It's a bunch of trolls. Hey, they give me engagement, get free advertising. People come check me out. I can do that all day. I have no problem. He's got to be sick and tired of living that clapped out classy RV by now. Well, I mean, it's surprising because these channels, because wasn't he somebody who also, did he do any Facebook marketplace flipping? because this is what's interesting. He's had a channel that grew to a decent size, that's been on the platform. I wonder if this niche has just become absolutely, it's become probably oversaturated. Just like the kind of talking heads in the car type niche. Again, another oversaturated market. Not to say the commentary doesn't have its saturation point too, but obviously with commentary, there's always new things to make comments about and chat about and talk about. So kind of sometimes leaves that hopefully a little bit more open. But it's interesting because obviously one of the things I do find fascinating is how people are mentally able to handle their channels that they relied on as a source of income, and they saw pretty good money, maybe didn't have the best financial literacy and awareness, and have somewhat squandered the monies that they had. Did they do smart things? Because a lot of these creators can make very good money. Now, they may find that they didn't prepare to think that the money that they get on their YouTube monthly payouts have had no tax taken out. So if you started to make really good money on your channel, you are going to have to put money aside for taxes on that because there has been no taxes. So obviously that's where you keep a Schedule C or whatever. But I do find it interesting that if he did go out and buy tires and had asked for his audience to purchase those for him, and then he turned around and sort of flaunted fancy meals and stuff, it's kind of not using the monies as specifically kind of asked for. And there's very generous people out there, and I understand there's people that have been very generous to him. Now, my character, Scotty Bear, I know people didn't really get into him, but he's had some wild stuff happen. He's gotten wild. All right, so I'm going to catch up real fast. Let me see if I can find a little picture of Miss Junebug real quick. And we'll talk about Junebug's vet visit. If anybody wants, to click out, you can. But if you're interested in Miss Junebug, I'm going to tell you about what happened with her today. This is a cute picture. I'll just show these guys. Well, that's Roscoe and Junebug. I don't have a picture of just... Oh, here she is. Oh, this is one where she looks real goofy. That's wintertime. That doesn't make any sense. All right, Ray, just show. Well, this is one of just her just passed out. What about this? There she is. There's poor Junebug. Passed out. She's actually passed out kind of like that on a couch at the moment. I know people love me talking about my dogs, so I will. And troll me about it. Who cares? But yeah, Junebug went to, for those of you who are interested. Not as many people interested in the dog. That's okay. But Junebug went to the vets yesterday, got her annual checkup, and she's this big dog, you think she's a tough girl right there. She looks a bit bereft. Hey, it's just her stretched out on the floor, man. She's not missing any meals. No. She isn't missing any meals. Probably like the worst picture to show, but it was a funny one. We're just leaving it there. I'm not messing around anymore. Well, thank you for saying she's a cutie. Yeah, she's definitely, she's not starving. God, they beg for food all the time too. And we just switched her to a new food. So she and Roscoe are now being switched to Pro Plan, Purina Plus, some type of beef and rice shredded essentials. It's got like little chewy bits of, I guess, something in it and kibble. And they seem to like it. So we're doing the switch over. We got a little pumpkin to keep their tummies happy. But yes, so Junebug doesn't like going to the vets. And everyone thought she looked really cute because she was wearing her little orange jacket, her little puffer coat. Because we had very cold weather yesterday. It was raining. So she looked cute as could be. She did a great job. She got up on the scale. She weighed in. This is an older picture. I think she weighed in at just over 60 pounds. 61.6 pounds. It's 2.2 pounds per kilo, Catherine, if you want to do some math there. So you'd want to 2.2 pounds per kilo. So you would want to divide 61.6 by 2.2 to get your kilogram weight. So sitting around 30 kilos, around it's a little bit under. It's my conversion for the metric folk. Okay, so she did sit on the scale, which was great. She was shaking when she got into the little. She was petrified. The second she walked into the building, she was petrified. And then she went into the room, and we were doing it. And the vet, when she walked in, and saw like Junebug literally like shaking and hiding under my legs. She told the girl off. She's like, "You need to leave the door open. She doesn't want to have you. You need to leave it open." Like the vet's very good. Like you got to keep her open. So they always let me go to the back area with her because they know they're going to have to put her on a lower table because she's got to get muzzled and all sorts of stuff because she actually tried to bite the vet yesterday. Could not believe it. When we were trying to get her up on the table and the vet wasn't doing anything, just like trying to help get her up on this like little area where they know because Junebug has a history of releasing her anal glands in the vet office. Can't believe I'm sharing this story. And yet again yesterday, it wasn't pee, it was anal gland. And it cost me then. We had to I said, we just might as well get everything out because she kept doing it. And the vet be like, "Oh, she did it again." And luckily she was up on this thing where they could rinse her off and stuff. It was $38 just to have that done. Yeah, no, female dogs do. And then Roscoe was absolutely obsessed with smelling her backside when she got home yesterday. I spent $589.54. I wanted to have a drink after that. Should be hanging out with Tiffany. So yeah, she does have to go back to the vets on March 30th. She's got this panicular type skin tag. She's got two. She's got the one that's growing rapidly, panicular or something like that. I mean, like hanging. And then she has another little tiny one. So I'm sure that's going to set me back. So the joys of dog ownership. So I appreciate all the thank yous and hearts and everything because it helps me maintain my dogs in good health. So I appreciate this, guys, and everything with the channel. And like I said, I do have like my ethical times where I hope I'm not being a bully and more of a commentary channel. You know, Mikey already calling me a hater, which I find interesting. How can I do one video and already be a hater? Lord of my life. And I thought we were just having fun. I hope he's just talking about people in his comment section. So yes, June got all of her annual, stuff done. New medications, new dog foods that were on. And luckily my local pet store sells that one. And off back to the vets to get these skin stings removed. And hopefully her nails trimmed. And that's exciting. I'm sure she'll probably release her anal glands on them another time because she does it every time. So that's what she does. I've never had a dog do this before. I've never had a dog this petrified of a vet. Roscoe doesn't care. He don't care at all. Like I had them put him when he went under for his teeth. I had him do his anal gland because he'd been scooting. Like scooty scoots around the house. And he didn't have like anything. Junebug, man, I don't know what happens. But she is something else. But yeah, Junebug not missing any meals, man. She's a tank. You give her something to calm her down beforehand. I don't know, because sometimes you don't always want to, give medications, because you're going to be looking at trazodone or some pretty heavy antidepressant type medications often. You can do, I think, Ativan with dogs too. Some of the anti analytics and so forth. I don't know. I don't know if the vet's on board. I know I had to get like when the fireworks came around, she has to get like a special gel. And I always make sure I order that ahead of time, because like the day of or the day before the fireworks, suddenly there'll be a rush on for that medication. There's some gel that we give her. So there are things that we can do, but obviously, it's just, she just keeps an eye on me. Honestly, she gets so intense. It's getting worse. Like the Bordetella vaccines are supposed to help with some of those anxiety issues. And yeah, it's bad. Yeah. So I don't know. But that's a good suggestion. Because it's getting worse. I mean, like she looks like her eyes are about to pop out her head, and like she goes like super red-eyed, and it was very stressful yesterday afternoon. I'd spent most of the morning working on the stuff with my things that I needed to update with the court case, and then I had to, so I did all that and kind of getting paperwork ready, and then I had to get her over to the vets, and I took her to Panera afterwards and got her just her a pup cup for being such a brave young puppy. So I got her a treat afterwards. But yeah, she was very stressed out. So that's why we did not stream yesterday. And just had a lot going on. You had a pit years ago. You miss him dearly. Oh, the vet who got bitten might be for it. Oh, well, she almost bit the vet. She was close. She turned around and nipped, because Junebug, despite that porky pie piggy looking thing there, she will turn fast on all fours, like literally turn 180. I've never seen, or 90 degrees maybe. She can do like almost like a full turn. Maybe it's a 180. She like, and I usually have it set the collar, like she can swivel on it really easy, but she will just turn like up in the air, man. It's the wildest thing. I've never seen a dog do it like she does. Like she can like just turn, man. She fast. Your pit does that too. Yeah. That's what spooks people out, man, because they just do that, and they do that quick, like fast and quick. And she's pretty dang solid, man. He can't bite, but he can't bite his own ass. Junebug's pretty athletic, despite that belly looking thing there. She's actually really solid. She has American Bully. She's actually more American Bully than she is Pit Bull. And so that's why she's so big and stocky, because it's actually that American Bully in her. Yeah, she's very muscular. Yeah, she is. And I've had my neighbors even comment that to me, like, oh, she's really muscular. So yeah, she's a muscular dog. She is so cute though. She looks like yours. Oh, I know. She is right next to Roscoe, just snoring, because obviously we had a nice long walk before we started the live stream. So I just wanted to catch you up with some Junebug story, and just thank you guys, moderators, for playing whack-a-mole. Angel of Glass, Catherine, Sammy. I know I saw you in here, and you've been popping in and out. I know you get busy, sweetheart. But I've seen you, Sammy, here. There you are. There's Miss Sammy, for playing such great whack-a-mole. The trolls are just getting a lot more intense, as I said, because I seemingly have come out of a YouTube algorithm jail. So my subscriber count, thank you guys so much, went up like 20 subscribers overnight, which is absolutely wild for my channel. I've never, for a long time, I haven't had that type of growth, especially because of all the stuff with Tim. there is a lot of like, things that YouTube flags to me if they think that I'm like taking copyright and doing all of this stuff. And so it has been just something, and I've just felt like, no, I don't think it's fair that these creators just get so ugly and just, the type of copyright persistent striking despite legal notifications. He still did not want to prevent, stop himself from doing it. And I tried to handle everything as legally and as professionally with Tim as I possibly could, even though he wasn't using the systems professionally himself. And so because he, did that, I'm taking him to court because Virginia has great laws for that. And I think it's would be interesting for other creators who want to try to protect themselves, especially if they're making commentary around other creators or people who are scamming people on the internet, or people who are, child predators, or people who have had some child essay histories or on registries and have YouTube channels now, or, whatever types of businesses or MLMs. There's been some MLM business owners who have been striking some of the MLM creators. And if they happen to live in Virginia, they would have potentially more ability to protect their channels if they're prepared to get into that counter notification process. Because obviously there's a caveat. It just happened to turn out because of the so many attacks that Tim has. It's changed the nature of this case and the conspiracy with Chris Google Maps. So it's just kind of changed it a lot. As much as people want to downplay it, it is a decent case. And today, the clerk did tell me I was better organized than most people. So there we go. Yeah, 3.8. Yeah. And it went up. I mean, I had I would get 1 subscriber, and I go down 1 subscriber. I get 2 subscribers, go down 1 subscriber. So it's just like, I was literally just like never growing and never shrinking. So YouTube would take some bots counts away or whatever. But, I was never growing, never shrinking. I was never going anywhere. But now, thanks to this awesome community that stayed watching, because YouTube is not, probably wasn't putting me, and I could see I wasn't being suggested, I wasn't being showed. And I knew a lot of that was because of what had occurred. And, I just didn't want to be bullied that way. And I want to have fun talking about people like Mikey. I'm glad you're able to serve him legal papers, even though you're not in the same state. Must have shocked him pretty good. It actually can happen. Yes, and it can, because Virginia does not like people being in other states just doing this type of malicious harm. And Virginia says, no, we have a long arm statute. If you have been causing tortious injury to somebody, we can use that long arm statute in order for you to have to come to court here in Virginia to be heard. We are not making all plaintiffs have to go to another state and cause them all this more harm to their business and to themselves when they're already trying to recover for harm being done. And so that's why Virginia has become such a business-friendly, pro-business state. Well, thank you for saying I'm awesome. I can't talk about that. And currently, the April 10th date still stands as is. But I can't talk about that further. There's the procedural things that are happening. And that's all I can say. Six Semper Tyrannis. Well, I'm going to hope that means that I'm going to keep fighting. Yeah. Because I am my own counsel now. And I am saying that, that I am choosing the silent path at this point. in my strategy. Yeah, there's strategies, or you have to have your legal strategies, and I have certainly used mine. That's for sure. Well, yeah, there's a docket. There's absolutely a docket. Absolutely. So it's becoming more interesting. Let's put it that way. For me. There's always two tyrants. Well, I am going to be a tyrant to Tim, probably, in his mind, because I'm evil. To all of these people, I'm evil. All right, guys. Thanks for letting me share my Junebug vet story. I hope everyone is doing well, that you're having a lovely weekend. If anything exciting happens, I will catch up with you. If otherwise, I don't know. We'll see if I have any energy to live stream. I know I'm headed back to work on Sunday, so never seems like, and I know tomorrow I have to sit down and do my taxes, and that just is going to be fun. So yeah, thank you guys, thank you. Yeah, you can hear me losing my voice. I hope tomorrow, actually, last thing I was saying, I'm gonna enjoy my spa package. One of my neighbors was so cute. I helped her with something, and she thanked me by giving me this really nice, which I thought was a lovely idea, to give to people. If you ever want to think of just a gift to a friend, it has like the foot mask and a face mask and like a hair soothing mask. So to give you a little spa day, and it's all like stuff from Korea and here from the States. So it's all like really nice stuff. And I thought that was so sweet of this. She's like, treat yourself to a spa day. So I thought that was really cute. So if you ever gift ideas, I thought that was sweet. Yeah. Oh, well, I can't say much, and that's all I'm going to say. You're going to be on pins and needles, guys. I'm afraid. Strategy always wins. Yes. So good night, everyone. Make sure to hit the likes if you haven't on the way out. I appreciate it. I appreciate DJ Shelly Shell for the wonderful contribution to Tim's loss of 100 subs, his channel's losing subs, my slowly gaining, and I appreciate it. I'm sure we're going to get more trolls. That's okay. It's what it is, guys. We had a whole bunch of them flood us suddenly, like all together at one time, and it makes me think they're just coordinated, and that's great. All right, guys. Yeah, hit the likes on the way out. Night, everyone. Thank you for letting me share my Junebug stories. All right, talk to you later. Bye.
Life and Vibe, thanks so much. My queen, my Sarasota Tim expert.